Hello everyone! Welcome to episode 20 of A Sky Full of Stars. And after all those setbacks and troubles that Hikari and Akito had to go through, they can finally get this stargazing event going. It was quite of a shock that in episode 19, the underlings of Takeichi would go this far to sabotage the event and force it to cancel, just so that Takeichi would win the bet against Hikari. So first, they took apart the telescope and hid it somewhere, and when Akito found it, they barricaded him from going up the steps, and surprisingly, Sai defended Akito, even though she fears Akito after how he mentioned that her eyes look like the Albireo stars. And I'm pretty sure the underlings were hoping that after this event gets cancelled, they can make a big fool out of Hikari and Akito. That they went great lengths for nothing, and the only thing that the other classmates got was the cold from the night. So let's see how this event goes. Akito says, "Huff, huff, huff." Oh, Akito! So I wonder how Takeichi feels about the fact that Akito has the telescope. So after getting back to the roof, Hikari and I wasted no time with chit-chat and quickly set up the telescope and tripod. So I wonder how close they were to the unveiling of the Albireo stars, because we know that the Albireo stars will only appear for a short amount of time. So where's Cygnus? So now Akito has repositioned the telescope, because now after they took it apart, all those coordinates are wrong. However, so what else? Okay, so he found Cygnus. Uh-oh. So I couldn't find this key feature, the beak. So where's Albireo? So it looks like they found another setback, and it's that the Albireo stars are nowhere to be found. So I think they missed the window of opportunity, or the time frame. So I wonder if it was the fact that he missed time, or the fact that he got the timing wrong. So they go, well, it looks like it's supposed to be now, but for some reason, it's not there. Why can't we see it? Maybe the position of the telescope, or maybe the angle that they're looking at? But without an explanation from anyone, I soon realized. Oh, okay, so there's a mountain that's blocking the way. So since Mikazuki Village was in a valley, you couldn't see the horizon, not even from the school roof. And since the time I had calculated earlier was only for the horizon, if there was anything to block the view of the horizon, Albireo would be hidden from view. So Cygnus' beak had already flown into the far edge of the night. Oh, I can't believe it. So it looks like this event is pretty much a failure. So the fact that they're in a pretty not so great location, it makes the window of opportunity very, very small. But I'm pretty sure there is a workaround for this. Maybe they can go to a better location. I heard everyone sigh and voice their disappointment. So I wonder how Takeichi feels, even though okay, so he's happy. He's like, so I bet this was all a hoax. You were lying after all, and you brought us out for nothing. Even Takeichi, who should have sounded with more triumphant, spoke with guilt in his voice. After we had worked so hard. After all the preparations Hikari and I went through, even tracking down the telescope, we had been so very close. But I have a feeling that Sai is starting to believe Akito and Hikari about the Albireo stars. So Sai posed her question very quietly. I'm sorry. But then again, it wasn't really Akito's fault. Because one, bad location, and two, the underlings in Takeichi costed them valuable time. I promised to show her. There you go. So Hikari's like, well, we can move to a different location. It's even higher, has better view. But then it's like, well, if we make it over there, then the time is going to it's gonna take time, and they'll definitely miss the window of opportunity. If we were to search from the top of the mountain blocking Albireo, we'd probably see it. But by the time we get to the summit, it would have sunk far below the horizon. I stood and faced the other students with my head bowed. You won't be able to see Albireo. I'm so sorry to have wasted your time. I could show them the stars in the sky now, or the ones that would be rising soon. But I wouldn't be able to bring back the star that I had moved on. Is it I or we? That's really bad grammar over there. Perhaps another day. I wonder if the other students will agree, or they'll believe Akito to be a liar. Because in a sense, he already broke their trust. The fact that he was going to get them to see Albireo stars, or the Albireo stars, today. I sent an attempt to salvage the situation, but I could feel my eyes burning. I knew it was surely impossible now. No one would show after a disaster like this. I fought bitterly to hold back my tears. It was so frustrating to have days of preparation and anticipation all come to nothing, just when those bitter tears had begun to fall. Wait, so why a dash instead of a period? So I wonder if he thinks of some interesting idea to help remedy this situation.
冬のアルビレオならどうかしら。
Winter Albireo? What's that? Huh? I lifted my head after Satome-sensei, who had been quietly watching the scene unfold, finally spoke.
冬のアルビレオ?
So what's that? Winter Albireo. So what is that? Our teacher looked at everyone before nodding once.
夏の星座である白鳥座が沈むのと入れ替わるように昇ってくる星座があるわ。
Okay, so in a sense, it's like, well... So the Albireo stars isn't the only special stars in the sky. There are other stars that will come up. So the teacher gazed at the sky in the opposite direction of the north or the west area we were all facing. There sat at the entrance of the valley a V-shaped crevice that opened all the way through to the horizon. And from this crevice, a bright first magnitude star could be seen starting its journey toward the heavens, although it was very close to the horizon. Okay, so it's Sirius. So other stars came together with Sirius to create the constellation.
冬の星座、大犬座よ。
Okay, so the Canis Major. But I never heard of a star in the Canis Major. It certainly wasn't in the textbook. So, Satome-sensei, what's the Winter Albireo?
空見くん、ほうき星さん、いらっしゃい。
So the teacher called us over to the southeast edge of the roof.
この辺りがいいわ。望遠鏡をここに。
Okay. I set the telescope according to the directions I had been given.
ほうき星さんと、そうね。天の川さん。
Okay, so Hikari and Saya. So what does the teacher want with these two students? So Saya jumped at having her name called suddenly.
温かい紅茶をもう一杯入れてきましょうか。
Oh, okay, so why don't you go get some more hot tea?
はい。
Saya and Hikari are going to go get hot tea, while Akito will reposition the telescope to see the stars that the teacher is suggesting.
みんな、あと少しだけ待ってもらっていいかしら。冬の夜空で先生が一番好きな星をみんなに見せてあげたいの。
Okay, so the teacher's favorite star. The attitude of the cold and disinterested students who were on the verge of heading home changed a bit after hearing the teacher's words.
先生が一番好きな星なんだって。
So there is some hope.
見てみたいね。
So, so what makes this a favorite star for the teacher?
星が昇ってくるまでもうしばらくかかるから校舎の中で待ちましょう。
Okay, so there's ample time for this star to appear. for Akito, he's gonna stay up on the rooftop. So if there are any more preparations to be made, I wanted to get them done.
焦ることはないわ。寒かったでしょう。一緒に温まりましょう。
Well, health is a concern. So I like the fact that the teacher is able to find some workaround. It's like, well, we didn't get to see the actual Albireo stars, but there are other stars that we can see in the sky. And there's more than just the Albireo stars to see in the sky. And there's some winter constellation stars that you see best during winter. So it's like, well, why don't we use this opportunity to see those winter stars before summer kicks in? And there happens to be one star that the teacher likes. So we're gonna see what star that is. And as we all wait to warm up, Satome Sensei talked about the stars. We listened to the adventures of the hero, Perseus, and the romantic tale of Andromeda. We also heard tales of the hunter Orion and his hound, and other interesting myths and legends related to the constellations. Even though it's not a constellation, we also talked about the story Night on the Galactic Railroad. And that's when Hikari surprised everyone by reciting a verse from the story. And thanks to them, we were able to pass the time and everyone forgot about being bored. Okay, so it's time to see those winter special stars. So Satome said after she checked her watch, she then took us back to the roof and led us towards the starry sky. As we reached the roof, students looked up at the night sky with much more excitement than they previously had. So where's this star that we discussed earlier? I don't know. They all tried their hardest to find stars and name the constellation. So this kind of reminds me of I remember in elementary school there was this experiment called Star Lab where you actually get to go inside this inflated dome, and you have all these different I'm not really sure how to say it, like the plastic light up spheres where you can see all the stars in the sky, or in the on the surface of the dome. And the first one was just standard stars. The second one actually had lines drawn to form constellations. And I'm pretty sure another one actually had names of different mythology, different creatures of mythology. But that's going too far, so perhaps this was expected because Satome Sensei just laughed a little. Okay. So it's like so here's some winter stars that you can see, like the winter triangle. There were a few raised hands throughout the students, but for the most part, everyone didn't seem too confident. Maybe some of us could remember what we had learned in class. However, I don't think many of us had a chance to actually look for the stars in the sky yet. Wow, so 2 heads? So does anyone remember where the constellation Orion is? Oh, so the underling, or one of the underlings, knows where it is. And his name is Miharu-kun. Right there! So he just pointed in the general direction of the southeastern sky. But the teacher nodded anyways. Well, then again, Hikari really shouldn't put him down. Hikari said to Takeichi's lackey regretfully as she hesitated to raise her own hand. Well, then again, at least he said something right, and you should be giving people credit rather than being all jealous that he got his chance to shine. Okay, so the 3 stars that you see. So if you see those 3 stars close together, that's actually called the Orion's belt. And if you notice that the stars are really, really bright, so it was easy to trace out the pattern. So everyone gazed up at the Orion constellation. So if you look at the so on the outside perimeter of the Orion constellation, you see that the one on the top left, it's kind of red, and it's called the Betelguese. Actually, I have to look up the pronunciation. There you go. So it's called the Betelgeuse.
お月様みたいにかけたりするから？いい答えね。でも違うわ。セラミくん、わかるかしら？
So I think she's asking about why it changed brightness. Oh, because it's getting larger and smaller? And that's correct.
その通りよ。
I wonder why.
どういうこと？あの星、大きさが変わるの？ベテルギウスが大きく膨らんだり、小さく縮んだりしているの。
So maybe the gravity on the Betelgeuse star is unstable. So if the gravity is high, then it contracts and shrinks. And when the gravity is not that high, it starts to expand and go outwards. Well, I'm not really sure the actual reason, but that's my guess.
そのせいで地球からは明るくなったり暗くなったりしているように見えるのよ。
That's true. So the students all exclaim in admiration.
それだけじゃないの。あの星は実はもう爆発してなくなってるっていう研究者もいるのよ。
What?
そうだ。だってあるじゃん、あそこに。
But it's right there, isn't it? So the teacher just smiled as if she had been expecting that reaction.
地球からベテルギウスまでの距離はおよそ642光年。じゃあ今私たちが見ているあのベテルギウスはいつの姿なのかしら。どういうこと？
So, these kids they don't really understand, that what you see in the sky is, you see images of the past.
わかんない。今の姿じゃないの？
I have no idea, this isn't what it looks like now.
640。
Looks like Sai got the answer. So the teacher smiles brightly towards Saya, who had answered in a tiny, weak voice.
その通り。1光年は光の速さで進んで1年かかる距離だから642光年先にある星の光が地球に届くまでおよそ642年かかることになるの。
So in a sense, it's like, what you see is, what the star looked like 642 years ago, because it takes 642 years for the light to go from there, the image from there, to Earth. So it's like, well, what the star looks like now is not going to be the same as it was as what we're seeing.
だからあれはうんと昔のベテルギウスなんだ。ベテルギウスだけじゃないわ。太陽系より外の星々はどれもうんと遠くにある。
That's true.
地球に光が届くまでに何年もかかるから私たちがこうして見られる星の姿はみんなうんと昔の姿なのよ。
All the students nodded their heads as they listened. Though probably no one actually understood. Well, then again, these are elementary school kids, and all this topic and content about light years and how far the stars are, and the fact that you're looking at the past of the universe when you look up at the sky, these are things that I don't think anyone expects elementary students to understand. But you do learn this if you go to like science in middle or high school.
ということは？
So what does it mean then? That maybe Betelgeuse has already vanished. That Betelgeuse that we all actually, or that we all see, is actually how the star looked like 642 years ago. And if we wanted to see what Betelgeuse looks like right now, we'd still need to wait 642 years. And during that time, if the star were to go supernova, be destroyed, we wouldn't even know until far into the future.
ベテルギウスがいつ夜空から消えてしまうかわからない。今日か明日か来月か来年かもっとずっと未来か。
So I wonder what evidence scientists have about the Betelgeuse star vanishing. And just because they expanded contracts doesn't really provide much of a fact, but then again, I'm pretty sure they have other supporting evidence to basically give them the suggestion that the star did vanish between 642 years ago and now. So everyone watched Alpha Ori of the Orion constellation, Betelgeuse, with serious expressions. It may even be exploding right now. My heart began to pound at the possibility.
ベテルギウスが消滅するとき、その最後の光が地球に届くと、あの星が昼間でも見えるくらい明るく光り輝くって言われてるの。
Okay.
Moshikashitara, その光をあなたたちはその目で見る日が来るかもしれないわね。すっごい。
Ooh, oh, wow.
でもそしたらベテルギウスなくなっちゃうんでしょ。やだな、そんなの。
Well, then again, you can't really predict how things will go. The boys looked forward to the star's destruction while the girls mourned its loss. So I stopped to consider each experience and looked up at the expectant old stars.
ベテルギウスから今だと左斜め下へ行ったところにもう一つ明るい星が見えるかしら。
So what else do they see?
あった、あれだ。
So which one?
違うよ、遠すぎるだろ。こっちだよ。
Ah, so the fighting. Which one? Which one? This one? That one?
みんな見つかったかしら。
A yes could be heard from here and there from the students.
あの星はプロキオン、子犬座の星よ。
Okay, so another star, the Procyon. And even Pooch is barking. Everyone laughed gleefully at the appropriate timing of Pooch's bark.
そしてその2つの間を下へ降りていったところにとっても明るい星があるわね。
Okay. It was a star that was so bright you didn't need to search for it.
あれがシリウス。すべての星の中で一番明るい星よ。
Okay, so Sirius. With an apparent visual magnitude of close to negative 1.5, it's the brightest star in the heavens. And aside from Sun, Jupiter, Mars, and other bodies of our solar system, it's the brightest star in the night sky. And more importantly, this star is probably much further than the other celestial bodies that Akito mentioned. So it's quite something exciting of its own.
その3つの星を結んで冬の大三角というのよ。
And if you connect these stars, you get the winter triangle. So Betelgeuse, Sirius,
この
and
明るい3つの星が冬の星空の目印になるの。
Procyon.
そのシリウスがあるのが大犬座、子犬座と大犬座とオリオン座。何か思い出さない？
So what else does the teacher have to share with us?
っき話してたやつだ。
So when she mentioned the Winter Triangle, she means like three big constellations all grouped together. So the Orion constellation, the Canis Minor, the Canis Major.
大犬座と小犬座は狩人オリオンの猟犬だって言われているの。
And that's an interesting way to put it. So the students all exclaimed in admiration again. I finally realized that Satome Sensei had told us stories about the legend of the Orion so that we would be interested in the Winter Triangle.
これから見る冬のアルビレオはあの大犬座のすぐ近くにあるの。
And now the Winter Albireo.
空見くん、望遠鏡の準備はいいかしら。
Okay, so ready? Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure why I answer so nervously. Maybe it's because the excitement is about to come.
平台で見つけるにはちょっとコツがいるのよ。
And the fact that you have to actually use a telescope to see this star.
いい？まずは大犬座の後ろ足から。
So the teacher guided the hand that I had on the altazimuth mount and tilted the telescope. She placed her cheek right next to mine and we took turns peeking through the telescope.
そこから2つの星を結んだのと同じ距離を延長したところに
equal to the distance between the two stars. Satome Sensei peeked through the telescope.
ほら、あったわ。
Okay, here it comes. So the teacher stopped the small handle on the altazimuth mount. And
どうしたの？空見くん。
so what's wrong? The teacher looked at me curiously. We had finally found the star, but I wasn't moving to look through the telescope. Oh, so he wants to give the telescope to Saya first. After saying that, I stepped aside.
おいでよ、遠慮しないでさ。
Alright, Saya, you're up. Hikari pulled the bashful Saya forward. So she's kind of nervous. With everyone looking on, Saya became nervous. There you go.
私からでいいの？
So me first? Yeah, we made a promise, after all.
ハートがつっかえてんだから早く早く。
Hey, there's a line. Yeah, there's a line. You're first. You can't hold the line. So she very timidly looked through the lens of the telescope. Her long hair cascaded forward.
どう？何か見える？
Hey, do you see anything?
どうなの？ねえってば。
Oh, come on, don't rush Saya. So after Hikari voiced her impatience, Saya murmured a few words.
これがアルビレオ。冬のアルビレオ、そう呼ばれている星よ。
So the Winter Albireo. The side stood for a long moment in complete silence, holding her breath as she continued looking through the telescope. Everyone else held back their own breaths as they watched over her.
そんなに綺麗なの？私も早く見たいよ。
So now other people are getting quite curious about what is in the telescope. So after a short while more, Sai gathered some of her fallen hair behind one ear and pulled away from the telescope with a small soft sigh. Okay, so I'll stop here. This is enough for one episode. So we're gonna see what the other classmates are gonna think when they see the winter Albireo. And thanks to the smart thinking teacher, she was able to make this event worth it. Even though the original stars that Hikari and Akito wanted everyone to see, it went out of view, it went through the horizon, past the mountains. And she mentioned how, well, just because you can't see a summer constellation, but there are other stars that you can see, especially the stars that are exclusive to winter time, which is good thinking. So I'll leave you with this, and we'll see in the next episode what happens next.